and dear to my heart, Jewish Skolnik.
You're gonna have to cut me some slack. Kid Nation's a tough act to follow, so let's go. Alright guys, I'm gonna start this piece tonight by doing something I do very well, aggravating and disappointing people. So, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna talk about being Jewish. I'm sorry, I'm already kind of a walking stereotype of a person, so I decided to focus my creative efforts on something else instead, math. So, math, the universal language of the universe. I love this concept. Math defines our physics, which therefore defines the way things move, which therefore defines the universe. If aliens came to Earth and they touched down and we talked in equations, we could understand each other. But I like to think that if aliens came to Earth, it would go a lot different. They touched down on White House lawn and the world's greatest scientists and dignitaries come together and we greet the aliens by reciting the first 5,000 digits of pi, and the aliens would turn to us and respond by going, "Yep, that's pi. We've mastered the cosmos. We can speak English." I like to think aliens' first impressions of us would be very similar to people's first impression of me, which is, this person is very loud, very obnoxious, and does not seem to know what he's doing. How did he end up here? Really true. Really true. Anyway, math. So, well, one thing, actually. I don't actually know what we would say to aliens because I don't work at NASA. When I work at NASA, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to work in the department that sends out radio signals to the stars to contact aliens, and I know what I'm going to send too. It's a sequence of numbers that all carbon-based life forms recognize. 5318008. Put that in your phone, turn it upside down. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, math. So, math, if it governs our universe, can then explain human behavior, right? So I believe in the sine wave of your porn searches, right? And a sine wave, for those of you who took a QR in philosophy, is this kind of curvy line, like a sideways S that goes up and down forever. And everyone has their own sine wave of what they look at in porn. For me, personally, I am my peak of my sine wave, and that peak is looking up a steamy sex scene between Sleepy, the most underrated of the 7 dwarves, and Biff's one sidekick from Back to the Future that always wears 3D glasses. It's a great video. And then a valley in this same sine wave is me going onto Google Images on a dark and stormy night and just looking both ways and just going, girls. Big. I do know why I masturbate now. It's not like a Louis C.K. thing, I promise. Masturbating, Well, anyway, masturbating. So I masturbate not for sex and hormones. Well, I do, I'm human, but I don't want to. Sex is gross and icky and scary, and genitals are very unfortunate things. If it was up to me, we would not have them. We would just order babies off of Amazon and just have a USB port down there. But I didn't design the human body. If I did, we would also have nipples that also open bottles. It would be great. But the reason I masturbate, and this is getting a bit personal, the reason I masturbate is for 15 seconds after I masturbate, I don't have to think about when I'm next going to masturbate. It's great. Anyway, back to math. So, math also gives you a great excuse, right? Because you can just say it's math, right? You're a dick to someone, they call you out for being a dick, and you're just like, hey now, according to this, I'm in the 25th percentile of being a dick. I could be in the 10th or the 5th or the 1st percentile of being a dick. I could also have my percentiles wrong. I think they decrease and not increase. But the point is, I could get a lot worse with being a dick. For instance, I'll do it right now. I'll talk about my privilege. Everyone's favorite subject, Jacob Skolnik's privilege, right? I know how I look. It's fine. It's fine. I look like a professor. It's fine. But I still feel discriminated against on this campus sometimes. I went to Lower Pierce the other day, and the handicap stall was taken, and I was crestfallen because who's the handicap stall designed for if not me, right? I mean, it's got everything I need. Leg room, a buffer zone, a bar to hang on to if it gets rough. So I had to wait until the person was done in the handicap stall so I could get in there. Because I'm not going to get my shit done, pun intended, if in a Super 8, if a Four Seasons is about to open. Another privilege I know I don't have is what I call CAC privilege. CAC privilege is the ability to do things at the CAC. I cannot do things at the CAC. I go to the CAC, I go on the elliptical for 45 minutes, and then I slime away. But people who actually can go to the CAC, like lift weights and jump on mats in the back and run, I cannot run. I don't know how to. Like, if I start running, I'll just get like a feeling in my stomach, and I know I just got to give up on that. And I know that if I worked at it, if I ate healthily and slept, I could run, but I don't want to do that. So it upsets me when I see people taking better care of themselves than I do. As a result, I want to leave you all, you CAC privileged few, with a word of advice. Those of you that go to the Pierce salad bar not just for the edamame and shredded carrots, those of you that know how to do the mech at the CAC, where it's that orange machine next to the bikes that uses your full legs and arms, and those of you that go to the CAC and then you go and do pull-ups and then you decide that's not enough and you put chains around your neck and then you do pull-ups, check your privilege. Thank you.